I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Tropical Gangsters podcast. And today we have a very special topic that is I believe is gonna appeal to any of you guys that wanna, have the life that you want, a life that you basically dream of. And we're gonna be kind of like giving you our advice, our feedback on how to get there as soon as possible, and also helping you understand like what is your definition of your dream life. Because there's not a white and black answer. You really have to ask yourself what you really want, and once you get those answers, figure out how you will get there. So we all have our definition of our own dream life. Fabian has his dream life, Guille has his dream life, David has his dream life, and I have my dream life. And each of us are gonna get there one way or the other by following a specific plan. So we're just gonna open the discussion here and basically, I think the best way is just to kind of like say our own definitions of our dream life and how we're looking to get there, and based on that, give people feedback on how they can do it as well, right? So let's start with you. Like, what is your definition of a dream life? Do you want those jets, those diamond
Lamborghinis,
necklaces,
retiring in a yacht?
In a yacht?
No, of course not. But yeah, guys, this is a really interesting subject, and thank you so much for making the intro, Sebas, because this is really important, because everybody who is even working or fighting for something, they're actually fighting for their dream life, but sometimes they're just not clear enough with what they actually want and how they're actually going to achieve it. So they're just kind of in an everyday battle or struggle to try to get to even go one step further. But if you don't have it clear what's your actual dream life, at least for me the most important thing, it's health. If you're not healthy, you can't work, you can't live, you can't enjoy. So by being healthy, I reverse engineer my dream life, which again, each and every one of us has a different personality and a different let's say way of trying to live their dream life. At least for me, I like everything that involves being relaxed, calm, nature, green, beach, surf, adventure. Of course, I don't want to live in the middle of the woods in a cabin by myself, of course, but I definitely enjoy personally the connection that I have with nature, and even more throughout the years of working so much on internet marketing, how important it is to also to disconnect and really enjoy the things that you like to do, such as having hobbies, educating yourself, trying new things, getting yourself out of your comfort zone, and still keep doing what I'm doing. But again, it's connected to my way of living, which I really just want to keep working, keep investing. I don't ever think about retiring, honestly, because this is my personal belief. The day that you say that you're retired on something, it's because you just don't want to keep doing what you're doing. So that for me means stop doing something that makes me, feels me, and does my life. I don't think that I'm ever gonna get retired, but I'm definitely gonna keep changing and evolving throughout my years and throughout my life, throughout business models, throughout different businesses, throughout traveling, throughout meeting other people, because the best way to live a dream life is just by having openness in the way that you live your life to get to meet others, because you never know, by meeting someone you might just change completely in a even better way.
Yeah, maybe for you today, today you have a definition of your dream life, but in 5 years it's gonna change. Because for instance, if you, let's say you're single and you have your single dream life, and maybe your single dream life is like the life of Dan Bilzerian. Yeah. But then you're married, and guess what? You can't get
change
that. Yeah, you gotta change it. So that's a good point. Your dream life will change depending on the different stages that you go through.
Yeah, I just really get I don't get attached to a lot of different things, but I am a true believer of evolving and evolution. You will evolve from the day you're born to the day you will die. So by having that in mind, in my core, I really know that I'm going to keep doing the right things because I live throughout my intuition, the things that I really believe that are the right things to do. Of course, sometimes I can be mistaken, but I will learn from my mistakes, which is something that not a lot of people are even willing to do. But I definitely really want to stick to what really will allow me to go to the next level and be a better version of myself. Simple words.
All right, nice. How about you, Guille? What is your dream life, and did you have like a dream life that has changed over time? Like maybe for you had a different dream life before.
Yeah, actually when I like started like even thinking about my dream life, the only thing that I wanted was freedom. I mean, for me that was like the major KPI behind every decision. I said like, you know what? I just love the feeling of feeling alive. But through the process, you realize that feeling alive for me, it was like depending on wealth, first of all, of course, in the health, like pillar. Second, wealth, love, like happiness, like love with my, with you guys, with my family, with my girlfriend, with everybody. So I understood that it's not only about like one thing. And I said like, you know what, if I've been like in different positions, so I realized that there are like different like ways of viewing things. So for example, economically, I've been in the bad side and also in the good side. So I said like my dream life is, since now I have been living in like in both, I choose like the comfort side, right? Like make as much money as possible. Of course, depending on the goals and the toys that you have, you're gonna you're gonna need some cash flow. But I said like, now that I've been now that I live in both positions, I understood that I decided to go on the comfortable one, and the same in the other ways, in the other areas. So for example, in love, in my wealth, in my happiness, I always say like, you know what, I want to feel alive. I like to feel that I'm taking advantage of my life. Mm-hmm. So I always like think on how I'm going to feel when I'm like 80, and I said like, am I doing something that I'm gonna regret when I'm older? And if the answer is yes, I see what I can change now to get, to think in that process of being in a singing church, like telling to myself like, you did a great job, or I'm actually proud of what I did.
Yeah, that's like I also like to do that, like fast forward the future. Yeah. And then look back. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, it's funny because I recorded a video about that. I think it was yesterday.
Oh, really?
Or 2 days ago. Yeah, I was recording videos, and yeah, it's that's like a way that you can like avoid mistakes as well. Yeah. Because you are like, okay, you are here, and then you fast forward over here in the future, and then you're like, oh man, I shouldn't have done that, right? Yeah, or something like that. Yeah, that's nice. What else?
And I mean, it depends on your position, because I have always been thinking like that, but man, when I was 15, the only thing that kept me feeling alive was like going out and play with my friends. Yeah. So now, since there are more responsibilities, I said like, you know what, I want to live, like feeling so alive, like with a feeling of just like living and getting paid by living. For me, that's like the feeling that I want to get like every day from what I'm doing. I like the feeling of not feeling like I have to work. I like the feeling of feeling that I'm living and that I'm getting, payouts from what I'm doing through my living. So my expenses, so my dreams, so my goals, my toys. I really like toys. I like
cars and
motorcycles. Like those type of things. But I said like, if I find a way to live on that way and get paid, just to fulfill like those needs, and of course invest so the money can give me that freedom, I'm living the dream life. I mean, that's like some expectations, but in general, just like being alive and feeling alive makes me feel like I'm living it, right? So it's actually a way not to be like so hard on yourself, because sometimes if you have like an expectation of a dream life like that is super high, and you are living something totally opposite, you might get like freeze,
Yeah, you have to live like every single step of the journey.
Yeah, but like have insane standards, but being aware of where you at right now.
Yeah, if not, you're always gonna feel like shit, because you're gonna be like, oh man, I never achieved my goals, and your goal is to be a billionaire. So you're like,
shit, I don't have a new Lambo.
No, you're like, man, my goal is to be a billionaire, and I only have 100 million. I'm crap.
Yeah, because there's always room to improve, So
yeah, there's always. Yeah. If Elon Musk says, I'm gonna be happy when I reach Mars, he's gonna be like, oh shit, Neptune looks good, so you wanna go to the
exactly.
But something that you said is really true, that you don't realize how something feels until you get it. So for instance, like maybe let's say that you have you want to have a dream car, right? And you get your dream car and you only experience how that feels until you have it. So
Yeah.
only then you compare it to where you were before, to your
Exactly.
let's say to your Toyota. So then you say, okay, Lambo and Toyota, I prefer this, or maybe you
Yeah.
say like it's not a big difference, I feel the same.
Yeah.
So you can only compare it.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel that if people don't experience a lot of things, they never really understand what they want because
Yeah.
because you cannot compare.
It's
Yeah,
just bland.
exactly.
Like it's kind of when you're not living life at the fullest, you're just like living out of expectations. You're just in limbo.
Yeah, you're floating around. You don't. Yeah. So
Yeah. That goes really tied to your values and who are you as a person. Because like, for example, like with all the love and passion, like I don't see myself, for example, buying a sports car here in Costa Rica. Never, ever, ever, ever.
a helicopter.
I would
Yeah.
rather buy a helicopter 100%.
Yeah.
Because I can do way more things. But again, like I rather try different things. But again, like someone can say, yeah, Lamborghini is my favorite car, and I will buy it, and yeah, that's good.
You don't find value in that.
I don't find it amusing. I just, probably I'll just use it, race a couple times, and I just get bored because I've like sat on.
You already sat in a Lamborghini
Yeah,
when you
no,
went to the US.
I
and
don't
with
fit. I don't fit.
You don't fit. It's just. But now it's not yours, but you can compare it.
Yeah.
And you say, so would I see myself driving this in Costa Rica for the next 10 years? You're like, holy crap, obviously not.
Exactly. It's kind of trying to live the experience that you're trying to look for, because if not, you're just, again, you're in your head, you're framing to expect something that even once you try to get it, it might probably not make you that happy. So that's why
Yeah.
I really just like, I'm a firm believer that you have to walk throughout life to know what you want.
Yeah.
Because, man, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a fucking astronaut. Am I a fucking astronaut? Hell no. So that's why I mean, you have to walk through life, because today you can like this, but then you can like something else, and then something else, and then something else. At the same time, that's what what I love about life, because it's so beautiful. It might take you to places you didn't even thought about it, if you're willing.
Yeah, something that I learned is that, from being in different positions, I realized, I always knew it, but until I live it, I realized that everything's for the feeling, like the Lambos, the cars, the surfing, the experience riding mountain bike or anything is for the feeling. So I said, like, you know what, I'm always gonna like be super clear on how I want to feel and what I do or what I need to do to feel on that way, and that's literally the dream life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So for example, I like the feeling of being alive. I like the feeling of taking advantage of life. So for me to get there, to get to that point, I need to have like cool experiences, like being with animals, being on adventures. I like to have good toys. I like to make as much money as possible, because for me that's what, like, one way to get there. I know that there are different ways, but for me it's that way. Maybe for someone else is having a Lambo, to
Buying a house or
buying
traveling,
a house or
yeah.
something.
Mhm.
But everything is for the feeling, right?
Yeah, because in the end of the day, things that make a difference in your life, like like when it comes to survival, like for instance, you already have food, you already have water, you already have a roof, you're not gonna be eaten by a tiger, so like you already have the basic needs fulfilled. So if it's a Lambo, if it's a motorcycle that gives you the feeling, I mean, you already have the basic things covered. So in the end, it's not about buying something to be able to survive more. You're already surviving.
Yeah, exactly.
So since you're already surviving, and everything else is like extra for the feeling,
Yeah.
it's not 100% necessary. It's not like you're
Exactly.
getting it's not like for instance, if you could buy food that adds more years to your life. So this hamburger is gonna give me 2 more years. Okay, you can pay $200K for the fucking hamburger.
McDonald's will patent it,
Yeah,
that for
yeah.
sure. Will patent it.
But it's not the case, dude. Like most of the things we buy are the real value
They're
is
materialistic.
or over the roof. It's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
And also something important is to
Guys, quick pause. If you're finding this episode valuable, be sure to go to tropicalgangsterscall.com to schedule a call with us to see how we can help you out. Tell us what you're struggling with, what you want to achieve, and we'll create a personalized game plan for you. So go to tropicalgangsterscall.com and hope you keep enjoying the episode.
like to train yourself to be happy. I was listening to a program of Tony Robbins about wealth creation, And literally like 80% of the wealth creation program is about teaching the people to be happy first, because sometimes people feel like to get to a specific amount of money is gonna make you happier.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not the truth. Of course, always choose to make as much money as possible, so you will be more comfortable, have more things that you will enjoy.
You will enjoy the process.
Yeah, but if you decide to be happy, I mean, you're living the dream life towards what you want to achieve. Can be investments, can be toys, experiences, travels,
Yeah.
So David, let's go. It's your turn. You haven't.
Perfect. Yeah, so for me, in order like to have a dream life, you first need like to have a life plan, because if you don't like set your expectations, if you don't know like what would you like to achieve or what would you like to do, I mean like anything that you do right now is gonna be like okay, So for me, it's like first like sitting down and really think about like what makes you happy, what would you like to achieve, because everything changes. Like for you, it might be cars, for you it might be traveling, for you it might be pets. Or whatever, but at the end of the day, you first need like to really understand yourself in order like to get to that dream life, because like for example, and also like something that Fabian says, like that dream life is always going to change like depending on the stage that you are right now, because like before getting to know you all and all that stuff, like my dream life was like to graduate from college on time. And also like getting a good paying job,
Yeah.
And then like I knew both of you, and then my dream life was just like to quit college.
Yeah.
I didn't
the opposite.
I didn't graduate from college and I didn't get a job. So I mean it really depends on like the level of awareness on what your dream life is on the stage that you are right now, because like I told you, it was like something totally like the opposite on what I am doing right now. I didn't like graduate from college, I didn't get a job. And also it's about like also like being grateful of like every stage of the process, because for example, when I was starting out, one of my goals was like to start making 1K a month, so I got there and I was feeling like happy, and then like it changes from making 1K a month to making 2K a month or 3K a month. But for example, I got there and now I want to get more, but the situation that I am right now, it can be like the next goal of someone else that is just starting out, so like we were telling, there's always like room to improve, so you really need like to also like just be aware of like all the process that you are making, because if I go back, like I mean of course I want way more of everything that I have right now, but if I go back like to when I was just starting out, man, like I mean I didn't have nothing,
Dude, if you told your old self about the business that you have right now and everything, you'd be like, holy shit, that's I mean you would get
no, I didn't even imagine like having my own business or having partners like you or whatever. So I was just like thinking about having a nice boss, having a nice like good paying job, and that's it, like then like a couple of years later get my car, then like some years later go to an apartment to live like alone or with my girlfriend or my friend or whatever. But I mean I got like most of that stuff like way before like was of what I was expecting and way more, and for me it's just like having like that freedom of like really doing like what you love to do, because for example I love traveling, like I mean that's like that. For me, I would have spent like most of my money just on traveling, because it gives a lot of experiences. It's like last time that we traveled to Vegas, I mean it's like the first time that we were traveling together, and it was super funny. We were doing a lot of stupid things. We learned a lot for the business. And I mean, that's like, for me, that's like my dream life, like having all those kind of experiences, but also like the vehicle to get there is, and the truth is that it is money, you need like to have financial freedom for most of your goals. If you want a car, or if you want to be healthy, I mean, if you want to go to a really good gym, you need money to pay the monthly fee, or if you want to help your parents, you need money to help your parents, or if you want to buy a Lambo, you need money to buy the Lambo, so at the end of the day, that's like for me it's like the common goal, like financial freedom. Just
making
like
the most amount of money and doing the whatever the fuck I want lifestyle.
Exactly.
That's freedom, man.
Something really important that you were saying, and I was actually talking to one of my best friend's father, like again, like he's really wise, and he just said that a lot of people right now they like to buy stuff because that's normal, but like older people, what they're actually doing, it's buying experiences, investing in experiences, investing in traveling, investing in, for example, people who like fishing, going to the middle of nowhere and try to get the biggest fish they can, or People that like to ride waves, the same thing. Or people that like to go hiking, people that like to go biking, people that like to dance. Like people are like right now more than ever, if you really think of it, because I even spoke to my dad about it, and people like for example, when my dad was my age, he will never thought about like having experiences. He was only thinking about working and family. So now I really believe that, throughout internet, throughout experiences, throughout, podcasts like this, like you are able to listen other perspectives of life and can allow you to have a different, let's say, solution or resolution based on what you listen. Because if you really think of it, like there's a square that everybody tells you to live in, right?
Yeah.
But everybody knows that living in that square, it sucks.
Man.
It sucks. So why?
It's not a real life.
Why, after so many things that we've been through life, and I got to speak to my best friend's dad, like he has done everything. He has everything that he wants and he even desires, but he told me that doesn't matter, because right now the most important thing that you can take and the only thing that you can keep are experiences.
Yeah. And also something is that a lot of people create a dream life that is not really theirs, and it's like a fake dream life. So for instance, and this is something that happens since we were like very little, because like for instance, if all your life they tell you, okay, when you become a great engineer, you're gonna be successful and happy, and you believe that all your life, and you actually think that, when you get there, you'll realize like, oh shit, it was not this, and I've been thinking about this all my life. So it's like, I believe like most people want a fake dream life, and you get a lot of this influence because of social media, other people's dream life, and you just start thinking like
you're gonna be,
or even your parents.
You're gonna be so free when everything that you do is for yourself.
Yeah.
Literally, it's like putting away a 100 kilos backpack from your back.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like what I'm going to say can sound bad for something, but you have to be selfish for yourself. Like if you don't love yourself, who the fuck is going to love you?
Yeah.
No one.
Yeah.
You have to take care of yourself first. And it's not from a selfish standpoint. It's if you're not okay, if you're not taking care of yourself,
We cannot help others.
How about you,
Exactly.
Sebas? What's your dream lifestyle?
Dream
life?
life.
Or some key points to
Apart
live
from the
dream
Ferrari
life?
that you got yesterday,
Yeah.
what else?
Yeah, I'm super happy about my new Ferrari, man. Just kidding.
Actually, I just accomplished my dream life. It's right there in the garage.
Yeah. Man, dude, like honestly, this is very similar to my dream life. I mean,
Yeah.
a few tweaks here and there from when I was like in high school. Because when I was in high school, I was like, man, I'm just gonna be so happy when I can do whatever the fuck I want, man.
That's the dream life.
Whatever the hell I want, man. I can go wherever I want. I can buy anything, well, things that I want. Like before, I couldn't buy a PlayStation.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So those little things, like just the freedom, being able to freedom of like decision making and saying like, dude, today I can leave to the beach tomorrow if I want.
Yeah.
Or I can go and rent a nice Airbnb if I want. Like it's. But from now on, it's like if I want to do it or not. If it's, I don't know. So it's like that freedom of being able to make,
Choices.
call my own shots. Obviously now I have like other things that I want to accomplish, but I realized that it's not. That's gonna get me the feeling, but it's not gonna like be the definition of being happy or not. So
I mean, actually, there's like a difference between the dream life and the goals or the desires,
Achievements.
the achievements. Because I mean, living the whatever the fuck you want lifestyle is a dream life for me. Maybe I'm living it, but maybe I want like a new car because I just like cars, or maybe I like like going and travel with you guys or with my girlfriend or by myself, because those are experiences. But actually, the vehicle is the dream life that you're like currently living.
Mhm.
Those are just things that are gonna give you one feeling and experience, but it's not that is the equal as your dream life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's also the small things. It could be, dude, a dream life could be drinking at coffee at 11 a.m. because maybe you have the ability to drink it at 11 a.m. If you were in a job,
Yeah.
you have to drink it at 7 because at 11 your boss is like,
Yeah.
you cannot drink coffee at this time. It's not
Yeah,
coffee
or-
break.
Or for someone, it can be just like waking up like late, you know. And if you have like a normal job or whatever, you have like rules to follow.
Yeah, it could be small things. It could
Yeah.
be big things. It could.
It can even be like something so pure than to wake up at peace and go to bed at peace, knowing that you're doing
yeah.
everything to be okay.
Yeah, and that you don't. Like most people in the world, they go to bed stressed out.
Exactly.
Most people.
Most people.
Most people.
That's why, man. At the end of the day, everybody has to follow their own path. Like, we're not, telling you that this is our formula, this is our story. The words. And something
Mhm.
really important that I wanted to add to that conversation, because we're talking about dream life, but you touch a really important point about, enjoying the process and enjoying the journey. But man, like, you have to celebrate every fucking win you have. It's really, really important. And I can say one really important example. When we had our first 100 subscribers on Instagram and on YouTube for the podcast, we threw out a party.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people like
I was drunk.
a lot of people just laughed at us because like, what the hell, like, this guy's only 100 subscribers. But man, for us, it's really important to celebrate those little things, because that's what's gonna incentivize us, it's gonna motivate us to keep going even further, even without we don't have all the, let's say, all the support in the world. We don't do it because of that. We're doing it because we know there are a lot of people out there that are just relating to us in every sense of the word, with our story, with our life, with the way that we see life. Because at the end of the day, it's all about what you can get from others in a good way, so you can replicate for yourself. Again, like, each and everybody of us, it's a reflection of the 5 people that we really admire the most. So at the end of the day, if anybody out there can take even like a little grain of salt from all this podcasting, all these simple conversations, we're happy. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, and also I wanted to that's a good topic. I also wanted to add something else that is something that I learned from one of my first mentors. And the other day we saw a video about this, and basically he says that you have to realize, you have to map out and brainstorm like what is the cost of having your dream life. Because for instance, if your dream life is live in an apartment in LA and be able to go to restaurants on a daily basis and own this type of car or Range Rover, and also travel with your girlfriend, then I mean, obviously it's nice, but it has a cost.
At least 25K.
Dude, it has a cost. Yeah. So you have to be okay, like, what is gonna be the cost of my future apartment? It's gonna be $2K a month. Then what is gonna be? I need a budget every month for travel, so $2K a month. Then I want a Range Rover Sports, $2K a month. So you have $6K there. Then you want to have a
Hard
nice
cost.
You want to have a nice insurance, because that gives you peace of mind and it helps you build your dream life. So that's like super important. Like, people have to literally write down what is their dream life, like, and apply the strategy that Guille told you, that is fast forward into the future.
Yeah.
Imagine yourself there and say, okay, how much does it cost? Because if you want to live in a nice apartment, dude, you got to pay it. It's not like it's going to be free.
Yeah.
Right? So and then go back and say, okay, how much money, how many sales I need to make to get there.
Yeah, just break down everything. And
Yeah.
when you break down the numbers, it looks like easier, you know.
Yeah.
It's like what we were talking about, like breaking down like how much it takes you like to make a million a month. Of course, like for a lot of people, it's a lot, and of course it's a lot, but
For me, it's not like, like for me, it's not.
oh, man,
Just
yeah,
kidding.
I do that every single
For
day.
a lot of people, actually not me.
But yeah, that's the thing, that if you don't break down like all those little details, you don't really know if you're making progress or not, you know. And you don't have like a real plan to follow. So for me, it's super important that you really think about like what you want to achieve, and then just like break down of everything that is going to take you to do to get there.
Yeah, there needs to be a plan for everything.
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
Like, there needs to be a life plan, there needs to be a business plan, there needs to be an investment plan, there needs to be a fitness plan, there needs to go in life without a plan there is a perfect recipe to fail.
Yeah, it's like a ship without a captain.
If you're not planning, you're planning your failure.
Yeah, like,
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
dude, like people maybe like say someone creates a business plan, but they don't have a life plan.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or maybe they have a life plan, but they don't have a business plan, so it doesn't lead them to your
Or a health
life.
plan, because if they get sick, The life plan and the business
or
plan.
a mental plan.
Yeah, mental plan, super
Like,
important.
What are you reading? What are you consuming? What are you thinking?
Yeah. What are you nurturing your brain with? Are you watching? Are you spending too much time watching
Watching
stupid
the
shit on
news.
Instagram,
Yeah.
on Netflix? That's also ads.
Mhm.
Also ads. I think we had a really nice conversation, guys. It's awesome.
Yeah. Let's keep this one short. I think we said what we had to say.
Yeah. Straight to the
Nothing more,
point.
nothing less. So that's basically it, guys. Go there if you want to schedule a call with the Tropical Gangsters. If you need help with your business is in many cases one of the vehicles that allows you to reach your dream life, and because you need paper.
Yeah.
Benjamins.
So you need Benjamin. So go to tropicalgangsterscall.com, schedule a call, and and that's it, guys. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, guys. See you in the next one. Boom.
Bye-bye.
Strong like a tree.
Boom. Alright, guys, if you found this episode valuable, be sure to go to tropicalgangsterscall.com to schedule a call with the Tropical Gangsters and see how we can help you out. Tell us which business model you're in, what you're struggling with, and we'll see how we can help you out with a personalized game plan for your business. tropicalgangsterscall.com. Hope to talk to you soon. Peace.
Boom.